I'll do it myself.
So I guess I'm the first person to PowerScale Rumi from KPop Demon Hunters. Cool. Finally not making a video that everyone else has made a video on, and I'm late to the topic. Okay, so to get something out of the way before I get into the video, I am not well versed on power scaling. So if any of this, if you are an actual power scaler and you think this is wrong, please tell me, because I am a complete amateur when it comes to power scaling, and my understanding is extremely basic. So every feet calculation you see here was me giving ChatGPT what I thought was a good feat. Yes, I used the robot because my grades in math and science were low C's at best. So again, if any power scalers actually watch this, feel free to correct me. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's talk about the first feat Rumi has in the movie. So, for her first feat, Rumi survived falling from altitude in a jet, which you can see ChatGPT doing the math for that on screen. So, if you're curious, but basically that, and if you watch the movie, you know she landed completely fine. ChatGPT didn't give me very accurate results, but from what I did in my own research, what durability is, a character's durability is based on what their attack potency is. So basically, however strong Rumi's attacks are, is how strong her durability is. So, considering in the movie we see her do visual damage to the Unmoon, which is literally said at the start of the movie to cover the entirety of Earth, I think it's safe to say Rumi has bare minimum, according to what ChatGPT says, and like what versus Wiki says, that means Rumi has planetary durability and attack power. I don't know the specifics, but yeah, she can. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the K-pop Demon Hunter to be able to do damage that can damage planets either, but here we are. Now, adding on to what I just said, ChatGPT seems to think Rumi is anywhere from like continental AP to planetary. I mean, regardless of what you think, either of those means she can either destroy, she can do damage to a entire continent, or damage to a planet, which, you know, either way is pretty busted. So, yeah, that's pretty impressive. And I mean, it's not like she sends ripples throughout the Unmoon once. That happens, I believe, 4 times. I could be wrong about that, but, you know, still pretty impressive. She's doing something on a worldwide scale. And I mean, yes, she didn't technically destroy it, but like, it wasn't entirely her fault, but like, we do literally see her tearing it apart in one scene in the movie. So like, I feel like it's safe to say she's able to do planetary damage from what I can gather. Again, if an actual PowerScaler is watching this, correct me if I'm wrong and explain how I am. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, so next I forgot to mention this when talking about durability earlier, but Rumi just tanks a full hit from Jima, who's been absorbing souls supposedly worldwide throughout the movie, and it's very clear that the fact she withstood that for several seconds gives her some pretty high stamina and durability, so, like, I don't know the specifics on stamina, so I'm not gonna really talk on that, but durability, I mean, I guess it depends how you want to say a soul attack works. ChatGPT says it's city block, the continental, those were the answers I was getting. Sometimes it told me planetary, but I don't think that's true. But, like, in general, this is pretty impressive. Also, total side note, but, like, are people around the world just, like, losing their souls? Because we only see Huntrix hunting demons in Korea, so does that mean, like, every other country is not protected? Are there, like, because, like, that would mean that Jima is basically just taking souls from everywhere. Sorry about the side tangent, I just thought of that while saying that. Anyway, yeah, so Rumi has, from that feat, has, like, continental dirt. That's why ChatGPT is, and I guess I'm also saying she has continental to planetary durability. One, because she can destroy something that is covering a planet, and two, destroy slash effect, and two, the reason why she's in at a low ball continental is because that Shima tanking his attack. But yeah, again, take what I say with a grain of salt, and yet again, cannot say this enough. If you are an actual PowerScaler watching this, please feel free to correct me. Okay, so time for Rumi's hacks. For starters, I guess I should explain what a hack is. Basically, just think Superman's heat vision, Goku's Kamehameha. Basically just stuff that you can't really put under, like, defense or strength or intelligence, stuff like that. Stuff that you can kind of measure with just how hard they hit. Yeah, that's basically kind of what hacks are. So, to give a little more elaboration, for her first hack, Rumi Sword. Yeah, just one hits demons, so, I mean, regardless how you want to look at that, that's pretty broken. Like, now, whether it works on things other than demons is entirely up for debate, but, I doubt it does, but still, an insta-kill weapon is pretty OP. Now for her teleportation. I'm solely gonna go off the movie here because ChatGPT, I don't think really understood what I was trying to tell it. But yeah, kind of expect that for an AI. But basically, Rumi's teleport from a field to a field where she talks to Celine all the way to a stadium. that looks like it's on top of the cliffside in the city, which, I mean, I'd say is a pretty far distance. I can't really give an exact, I don't think they really give an idea how far away that is, so who knows, I don't know. It's probably like, so from what I know, teleportation is attached to speed, and from what ChatGPT has told me, the most consistent answer it gives me is hypersonic or subsonic, one of those two. So, do with that what you will. Also, if you want to, like, give Rumi's teleportation, like, go off of her potential, I mean, the Saja boys are able to teleport between Earth and the Demon Realm, so I mean, possibly that gives her, she has the potential to travel between dimensions, which, again, according to Versus Wiki and ChatGPT, makes her FDL. I don't know how accurate that is. Again, take everything I say with a grain of salt, but yeah, that's what I was able to gather. But yeah, let's move on. So, another thing for Rumi's hacks is it's implied she has some sort of soul protection. If you're wondering why the screenshot mentions Ben 10 and like other fictional characters and like all of these have, it's because I basically was trying to understand power scaling, so I was just using characters I was already familiar with as like a bench line, so that way I could just kind of ask ChatGPT, hey, how does this work, or, you know, just get a general understanding. Anyway, soul protection. This mainly just comes down to the fact she doesn't get her soul stolen. Really no real way to confirm this, but yeah. Then there's Jima's influence, which is a, I don't know if that can even really that impressive, but I mean, every other demon seems like they're somewhat affected by Jima's influence. So, I mean, we see that throughout the movie, but it is, we see Rumi doesn't even really hear him at all throughout the movie. The only time she actually hears him is when he's literally right in front of her, so like, and Jima himself says he has no control over Rumi, so, I mean, that basically just says he has no control over her, so like, if we go off the idea that Jima is basically the devil and has control over an entire realm the size of Earth, I mean, that's pretty impressive to just not be affected by that, which honestly you could probably just explain she's half demon and that's why, but you know, just figured I'd bring it up. No real reason other than that, but yeah. So yeah, I think that about does it for Rumi's hacks. So, to close this video out, am I saying everything I said in this video is 100% accurate? Hell no. I use ChatGPT for help, which is not the most reliable source sometimes. I also use the Versus Wiki, which I've heard isn't the best for information. So basically, this is kind of a call to action. If any PowerScalers are actually watching this, please correct me if I got anything wrong. I know I definitely did, so please do not be afraid to correct me, because I know for a fact I got at least a few things wrong in this video. But anyway, thank you for watching. Sorry if this wasn't as in-depth as you might expect some power scaling videos to be. Again, not a professional power scaler, not going to pretend to be, so keep that in mind. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, even though you may not have, but either way, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!